I'm at a different stage in my life now where, I mean, if this had been 20 years ago, I couldn't do it because I was milking morning and night. I mean, that was what we did. And milk, you know, cows are confining. It's not like if you're planting corn, you can, okay, it's not going to rain tomorrow, I'll quit and go do such and such. Yeah. The cows have to be milked morning and night. Yeah. So, but with my son there now, and then probably the biggest thing that made me decide was I had several people ask me if I would run. And I mean, we've been, and I'm not trying to toot my horn or anything, but we've been fairly successful in agriculture, handling money. I mean, we bought a lot of land. When you figure, when I got to college, I had $300 and a car. I mean, that's what we had. And, you know, today we own 4,000 acres and have, you know, milk 550 cows. And I mean, you know, so you had to somewhere be able to handle some money, which basically a county commissioner's position is handling money. I mean, the budget, where do you put this money? Right. How do you generate some more money? Yeah. And like I say, I had several people that said, you know, we think you do a good job, would you consider running? So I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it until, I don't know, whatever the last day was you could file. I said, okay, I'll try it. Yeah. And you know, if I happen to become a county commissioner, that's fine. If I don't, my life will go on. Yeah. At the same time, I don't want to belittle the ones that are there now. I think we need to recognize the fact that they stepped up and they gave of their time, they gave of their talents. There might be some things, I mean, everybody has a different idea of how they might do something. If we want I think we have a responsibility to our community, that if we want our community to make changes for the better, then we need to step up and help the community to make these better decisions. And that's basically what I'm hoping I can do. Now, you're not going to make everybody happy. Right. Our revenues have they haven't increased. And personally, I think we've got to get more business. And today with the 301 bypass there, we don't need to be a middle town, and we don't have to be a middle town to get more business. But there in that Millington area, we should be going full force to see what we can do to bring something in there. And it just seems to me we're dragging our feet. I was at a meeting, a Farm Bureau meeting in Queen Anne's County as a director, as a state director, and they had a person there from their economic development department, and they were saying, well, we need to see what we can do in our northern Queen Anne's County area. And they were talking specifically, you know, with the bypass now and all. And what really startled me was his comment was, well, we know Kent County isn't going to do anything. And I'm like, and then I thought to myself, you know what? He's right. He's right. So somewhere we've got to change that mentality that we don't need to do that. And it disturbs me a little bit now. And here again, I'm not trying to attack the present commissioners, but all of a sudden they have, we're going to do this, we're going to do that in that area. Well, if you haven't done it for 15 years or 20 years, why all of a sudden, I mean, I don't know if the citizens will see through that. I mean, if you haven't done it, what's going to make you do it right now?
So what would you want to have happen on 301?
Well,
you have a vision of what that would
well,
be?
I mean, there's a man there that bought a farm there, that he's willing to do about anything you want to do. I don't see why we can't have like a technological company come in there. I know there was a man that wanted to open a service station there, like have a convenience store and a service station. I mean, I think what we should do is, okay, at this point, we're known as Kent County, and we've got to somehow get out to the public and out to these businesses or people that bring in the businesses that we're open for business. So I think we should put an ad like in the Wall Street Journal. Say, Kent County, Maryland, beautiful place to be. We have this area. We're open for business. Please call us. Now, I don't know what you're going to get from that. And maybe it wouldn't be the Wall Street Journal. The economic department should know where to publicize and try to get the business. I was involved with the Dollar General in Wharton. Okay? Well, you know, it took 2 years to get that all done. 2 years to get a little old Dollar General built. Now, businesses, they don't want it to go through all that. The fellow I mean, the way that Dollar General thing worked, the guy who was building it or getting it for Dollar General, I mean, Dollar General calls like him and says, we want to build 5 Dollar Generals in such and such an area. Find us a place to do them. Well, meanwhile, every time that he goes back to planning and zoning or the powers that be and has to do something different because they don't like this, it costs more money. And he was just about to the point where he was going to walk. He said, I can't keep going back, spending $15,000, $20,000 every time with a survey and new everything. I said, you can only go so far with it. But when you look at the Dollar General, well, I shouldn't say, I mean, I owned that land.
Oh,
okay, which is how I was involved in it. But it was agricultural land. I mean, it was zoned to do what he was doing, but it didn't have to change zoning or anything. But I was paying probably $2 an acre of ground there, $2 for property taxes. Well, they're now $30,000. Plus, there's a water and sewer allocation he had to buy. There's a water and sewer bill every month. This is money that's into our county now. So, same way at 301. If we could bring in some business there, it's going to be more, and that's where we've got to get our money. If we can bring business, I think then we'll also bring people. Well, first, I think our public schools have gotten a bad reputation for whatever reason. I was at a meeting in Annapolis, and there was a person sitting like here, and he says, well, Kent County public schools are terrible. I say, whoa, why do you say that? And I don't think we've done a good job of advertising our schools. I mean, and by that, some of the graduates from our school. I told Dr. Couch, I said, I think there should be a publication that takes some of your graduates that have now, they're in their vocations, and they don't all need to be college graduates either. We've got some people in this county that have done very well. They're not college graduates, but make up a brochure, give that to all the realtors in Kent County, and when they come looking at a house, they say, here's a brochure of how good our schools are that some of our graduates have done, how well they've done. Well, that right there would be, I think would do wonders. I don't like that fighting. Like, I went to the commissioners meeting when they did the budget, and here's your Board of Education and your SOS group, and then the commissioners, and they're just like, we're gonna duke this out. And somehow I think, why can't some of that be discussed beforehand? Have those commissioners get together with the school board and hey, this is what we have. This is what you need. Can we somehow work this out so the public's not seeing this, let's duke it out. See, that to me wasn't good. Well, I think and of course I'm not in the position yet, so I don't know, maybe their hands are tied to a certain point, but I would try to find some money through some other sources. Like, I think we could get more money from the state, but I've heard that our present commissioners, I was told at the state money, if the county would give more money, our commissioners said no. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know. Maybe you don't want to have that in a response here, but you know, I know I can't say whether I ought to give them more money. There's some people that think the schools are getting plenty of money. They're just not allocating it right. I mean, that's some people. I don't know. Well, I want our schools to have, I mean, I've got grandchildren now that are starting school. I want our kids to have a good education. I mean, you know, I want them to have a good education, but money sometimes isn't the only thing that creates a good education. I mean, you know, education is a business too. It's also a business, right? And you know as well as I do, you can throw a whole bunch of money in a business and it might not be successful. So we've somehow got to, I would like to see our teachers get more money. I forget, or they're like the second lowest in the state or something. We spend a lot of money per pupil in the state for ranking in the state, but I think there should be more of it going to the teachers. Because let's face it, the teachers they're the ones that are doing the job. If you don't have good teachers, you don't have anything. At the same time, we've got to remember, if we can't get more revenue, you can't get more money. I mean, it's a matter of, our revenues are stagnant. And I do not think we need to raise the property tax. Now, that's what some people say, well, just raise the property taxes. But to me, I imagine you look every spring, or maybe you don't, every spring when they have the list of properties people haven't paid their property taxes, and there's 1, 2, 3, or 4 pages. Well, that tells me the people don't have the money. Here again, we've got to be able to make this thing, I don't know if the county has money. The county gets, okay, do you want to put it in public transportation, or do we want to give the school more money? I mean, it's limited money. Yeah. And unless we can increase our income in the county, then I don't know how we can do everything. Yeah. But I'm not opposed to, if somebody had an idea of, hey, we can get Dixon Valve to fund part of this, Lamont Chemical, some other, and some other groups.
And these things.
Well, I definitely think we need to do everything we can to keep a hospital here. I think we were sold a bill of goods by the University of Maryland when they got this. Personally, I think all they were doing was looking at the assets that the hospital had, and which they did, they sold the nursing home. There was a farm out at Lynch that the hospital owned. They sold it, taking the money. Now, I don't know if there would somehow be a way now that you could buy the hospital back. If a group could, with this opportunity zone, if you could get somebody that had the money that could, because there are tax advantages there, that would be interested in trying to buy the hospital back if they would sell it. That's the other thing. But it hurts. It hurts the county to not have this hospital. Yeah. I mean, even retirement people, well, I mean, when I look at it, and sometimes I try to look at things from what, if I was not here and coming here, if I was moving into Heron Point, I'll say, the reason I'm moving into Heron Point is because I'm elderly, and I'm probably going to need some care. We don't even have a hospital. What am I, why would I want to do that? And the same way, a young couple a young family that's, we don't even have a birthing center. So, yes, we definitely need to keep it. My goal would be to work with because we have a good group of people that are working hard to keep it. And as a commissioner, I mean, I would work with our delegation in the state legislature, because there's a lot there that can be done to encourage them to do whatever they can to keep our hospital here, or to expand our hospital, or get it back to where it was. Easy. But essentially with a county executive, and I believe I'm right on this, like Baltimore County, Harford County, they have county executives, which are elected, and then there's council members that are elected from different districts, which maybe it would be the best way to go. I don't know. I mean, right now you're, a county commissioners, it's a county-wide thing, and you can do good in one area, poor in another area, because nobody knows you. And so is that a good way for government to run? Because, well, he grew up in Kennedyville, so yeah, we'll vote for him. Whereas if you had two of them that were from Kennedyville, they knew both of them, well then, okay, we think he would do a better job. Well, I think, for one thing, we're an agricultural county, and I'm a farmer. I mean, now, don't elect somebody just because they're a farmer or because they're a waterman or because that. But I think I have with my background, some unique abilities to where, I can handle money, which is main part of what the county commissioners do. I think I have common sense. I think I can work across lines with a lot of people. I'm not I don't know if you'd say a radical. I'm not going to, set something in stone. Well, this is the only way we're going to do it. I just think I could do a decent job for the people in King County. If our present commissioners are reelected, then that tells me the citizens of King County are happy with no business, with the infighting in the schools, which are, to me, are two of the biggest things that happens in the county. And so be it. Which I just can't, I just hope let's hope it doesn't happen.